Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyeatingstartshere.com. So this past weekend, Phil and I went out for dinner to celebrate the release of his ebook on organic gardening that you guys can check out at smilinggardener.com if you're interested in that aspect of healthy living and growing. So anyway, we went out for dinner, and picking a restaurant is always a bit of a challenge for us. I personally have always been more a fan of eating home-cooked foods than restaurant foods, and that was just personal taste. And now that we are much more into health and nutrition, it's gotten harder and harder throughout the years to go out to restaurants and find something that we're going to enjoy and feel good about afterwards. I mean, to a certain extent, a healthy body will take care of this stuff as long as you only eat it occasionally. And as long as you pick some of the healthier options at healthier restaurants. But yeah, it has gotten a little bit harder as the years have gone on and we've gotten healthier. And I've actually been listening to an audiobook on my morning runs for the last week or so, and it is a book by Morgan Spurlock called Don't Eat This Book. And if you don't know who that is, he did the movie Super Size Me. So that was all about fast food, and he's getting into a lot of the same stuff in this book. One of the things that he's been looking at is the stats on calories and fat and things for fast food chains and for, I think he calls them casual dining chains. You know what I mean, like the Keg, the Outback, places like that. So I actually went and took a look. I don't normally focus on the negative side of things because I like to just look at what we should be doing, how we should be healthy, and that's what I try to share with you guys. But there are some things that you really need to know, because if you don't realize how detrimental these things can be, it's easy to just say, oh, you know, it's fine, it'll just fit in with everything else and I'll keep things balanced. But when I was looking at the nutritional info on the Outback's website, it was pretty scary. Now, the Outback is not a place that I would choose to go on a regular basis, or pretty much ever, but you know, sometimes you wind up there with friends. So I looked at a burger and salad with a vinaigrette. The only vinaigrette they had was called mustard vinaigrette, and that meal was 1,300 calories, and that included 94 grams of fat, which 1,300 calories is almost a full daily meal for a lot of people, like a full daily food intake. There are a lot of people around, 1,500, 1,600 calories for women, and so 1,300 calories in one meal of a burger and a salad, that's pretty nuts. And that 94 grams of fat is twice the daily intake for most people. And then if I switched that up to fries, that was the interesting thing. A burger and fries was only 1,160 calories and 29.5 grams of fat. So you can see that although a salad is better, it depends what dressing you're using as to how much of a difference that is going to make. Now, the burger and fries did not include ketchup, which if you drench that in ketchup, you're going to add a lot of calories, you're going to add a lot of sugar and salt. So there also probably was cheese on the salad. I've noticed a lot lately, restaurants are just pouring cheese all over salads, and that can really rack up the calories. Now, another restaurant I looked at was the Macaroni Grill, because they have a very good breakdown of what on their menu is vegetarian, and they also have what is vegan. So they have a vegetarian listing on their website, and then it says which of those meals has dairy, which has eggs, and which has honey, which is, I think, really progressive of them. So if I were going to go to the Macaroni Grill and have a meal, I would probably have a green salad with a balsamic vinaigrette. And they have a choose your own pasta menu, so you can choose your pasta, and then I usually go with pomodoro sauce, which is just tomato basil. Arrabbiata sauce is also just tomato, but it's spicy, and I prefer the non-spice. And so that meal, including a few grilled vegetables on the pasta, came out to 845 calories, which is still a huge meal. So when I go to a restaurant, I usually look at the plate, cut it in half. That's all I'm eating for dinner, and then the rest I'm going to take home with me. So if I cut it in half, that's 423 calories, and that's a pretty decent sized meal still. So I would probably split the salad with Phil, and either split the pasta or he'd get something else and we'd take half home with us. Now, neither of those meals, the burger and salad, the burger and fries, or the pasta and salad, none of those include bread before the meal or any condiments. So I usually go with stuff that doesn't need condiments, like pasta, salad, stuff like that. And it also doesn't include any sodas, which is a huge source of calories and sugar. So looking on the Macaroni Grill nutritional info, they were the only ones I found that actually included their sodas and drinks in the nutritional breakdown. And they have some Italian sodas, which sounded interesting. And so one of those would give me 130 calories and 31 grams of sugar. So that's a pretty huge addition to the meal, and I always go with water and maybe an herbal tea if I'm in an Asian restaurant or something like that. So anyway, that was my analysis of some chain restaurants that totally scared me. And Phil and I wound up going to a vegetarian restaurant called The Table here in Ottawa, if anyone is familiar with that. It's a pay-by-weight buffet style place, and they list all of their ingredients on little cards. It was actually very similar to a restaurant Phil and I used to go to in Victoria called Green Cuisine. And we really like the pay-by-weight system on a buffet because no matter how you try to avoid it, if you go to a buffet that you pay a set fee, you will try to eat more than you would normally eat to get your money's worth. It's so hard to get out of that mentality. I can't eat that much, and I just decide not to go to buffets because I know it's not going to be worth the money. But if it's a pay-by-weight, you get to choose what you want to eat, weigh it, and just eat that. So we had a very nice meal, and enjoyed ourselves thoroughly. Came home. We had a nice walk home. It was probably about 45-minute walk home. So we got a little exercise after our meal as well, so that's good. And I am curious about your favorite restaurants. Where do you choose to go? What places do you avoid? Like I said, I do often try to avoid looking at the negative side of things, but sometimes it's really helpful to just know why you should be choosing these things. So go ahead, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, what restaurants you choose. HealthyEatingStartsHere.com.